Last week we absolutely smashed on the card. We hit every single bet minus one little $10 shit parlay, and we missed one leg because Leon couldn't fucking even touch Bilal Muhammad last week. So overall, super successful weekend. Let's go ahead rolling into this week. Today I'm just going to be breaking down the main card only of UFC on ABC. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Should be a pretty fun one. Let's get right into it. First fight on the main card is Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. I think Elvis Brenner is going to give this guy some problems. I'm going to be real. Joel Alvarez is obviously going to be touching him up in the first round. You know, he's going to be landing some big shots, big jabs, big kicks. You know, he's 6'2", flexing a 5-inch reach advantage, height advantage, all the above. But something I don't see people talking about enough in this matchup with Elvis Brenner is that this guy comes forward. He's already used to closing the distance and crashing the range against fighters, man. This is what he does in every one of his fights. He throws a big punch, big shot, and falls into the punch and looks for a grappling, a clinch, some exchange, or just makes it a little bit dirty. I think Elvis is going to be able to do that in this fight. He's going to be able to make it dirty, and he's going to handle Alvarez, I think, in the third round or on the judges' scorecard. But yeah, give me Elvis Brenner for that one. Next one, we got Lupi Godinez versus Mackenzie Dern. Man, my girl Lupi, I love Lupi, but she definitely disappointed me in her last fight, fighting that freak, Verna Jandiroba. I was super disappointed in her. Obviously, Mackenzie Dern has a win over Verna, but, you know, I think Lupi's got the better, crisper boxing, the better wrestling, whereas Mackenzie's got the better jiu-jitsu and the more impact on her strike. She throws a little bit harder, I think. But yeah, give me Lupi because if I have to choose, I'd rather take somebody with crisper boxing and better wrestling than better jiu-jitsu and throws harder. So yeah, pretty easy pick for me here. Definitely going to take Lupi. I think this one's going to go to the scorecards, and I got Lupi by 29-28, unanimous decision. Next fight on the card is going to be Michael Chiesa versus Tony Ferguson's corpse. You heard it right. They dug up Tony Ferguson's corpse, and he's fighting in the octagon. Tony Ferguson is 40 years of age. He's a zombie, and his fighting style says the same thing, man. This guy just trudges forward, eats shots, and he's just washed up, man. He's on a 6 or 7 fight losing streak. I'm sick of watching it, and now he's making the move up to welterweight to fight Michael Chiesa, who's going to be having the frame, size, reach, you know, you name it, advantage. He's going to have all the advantages. And, you know, this is a perfect matchup for Tony. You know, this is exactly what I've been looking for. You know, my head hasn't been in the game. None of these fights have been interesting to me. We've heard all this bullshit before. I love Tony. I can't wait for the interviews this week. And, you know, all the fun that comes with Tony Ferguson. But yeah, man, he's going to get smudged up in that cage, smudged against the fence, and then smudged on the ground. You know, I do think it's a bit interesting, the fact that Tony's got a decent game off of his back, but man, you're not finishing Chiesa off your back. He's just got too much top pressure. He's a heavy guy. He's a big guy, huge guy for welterweight already. So yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Chiesa. You know, Tony Ferguson might give him some problems on the feet, but I just see Chiesa making it a bit dirty and just, you know, grabbing him and just bringing him into the clinch and taking his weak little hips and knees down to the ground. So yeah, let's go Michael Chiesa on that. That's a pretty straightforward pick. All right, next fight is the feature fight of the card. Deiveson Figueiredo versus Marlon Chito Vera. I think this one's pretty straightforward as well. I'm going to be going with Deiveson Figueiredo. We saw them both fight Rob Font. One of them looked better. It's pretty obvious. Deiveson Figueiredo is going to have the lighter man skill advantage. He's also going to have the grappling advantage in this matchup. I don't rate Chito Vera at all. He doesn't have enough output for me to even consider him in any other matchups that he has. I think he's going to go on a big losing streak from here on out. I think he's extremely overrated, and I think he's dog shit. So, yeah, give me Deiveson Figueiredo. Either a smudge decision or he gets a submission. Who knows? Next fight on the card is going to be our co-main event of the evening. We've got Shara Putin Magomedov versus Mikhail Lazaychuk. Yeah, Mikhail Lazaychuk, you know, he's decent. He's more of a brawler. You know, he's a scrappy guy. But man, this guy he just loses. I don't know. He looked good against Chitty, and I think that matchup's actually going to be pretty similar. You know, you have Southpaw versus Orthodox, and I think it's going to be very similar. I think the kicks are going to get off on Mikhail. We've seen him get, you know, I don't like how people are saying that Mikhail's going to get hurt to the body. I know he has been hurt to the body, but after watching that Chitty fight, there ain't no shot Mikhal's getting hurt to the body. I think he's going to be a bit of a problem for Shar. You know, Shar was a great prospect when he burst on the scene and beat Bruno Silva. I was extremely impressed with that performance, but we all know what happened in his last fight. Fraud check alert. Antonio Tricali stood there like a big oaf with peg for legs, didn't bend his knees once, didn't move his head off the center line once, and still Shar could barely get the finish, man. You know, you've got all those facilities to have a great performance, and, you know, you've got all these snappy kicks and strikes, and he just looks scared to throw, man. It's not like that fucking oaf Shrek is going to be shooting on you anytime soon. He just goes a clinch, smudge you up against the fence. I don't know what Shar was scared of. I don't know if he's actually just that bad, but I am still going to be going with the aura and hype, hometown advantage of Shar Nurmagomedov. All right. Last fight on this card, the main event of the evening. Corey the Sandman Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. I think a lot of people are also missing some stuff on this breakdown. I mean, Corey was subbed by Aljo. I mean, I don't think we have to speak much more. Well, Corey's gotten a lot better. His grappling has gotten significantly better. I understand his grappling has gotten better. His grappling has looked decent in his last fights. Don't get me wrong, right? You know, he fucked Cheeto Vera and Rob Font. I was there for the Rob Font fight. I was actually in UFC, at the UFC Nashville event. So I got to see Corey live and in person, and he did not impress me one bit. I know he had that tricep tear or whatever, but you guys have to remember, you've got Umar, who's been grappling since he was a young kid, you know, with Habib and all those other Dagestani guys that just, you know, are bred to grapple. So, you know, if you're going to tell me that Corey's grappling has gotten to the level of Umar's, you're absolutely crazy. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Grappling advantage to Umar. He's going to be dominating on the grappling. Let's go on to the feet. Umar has a certain style that's going to beat him. That style is going to be a older, more mature Song Yadong or a Piotr Yan, somebody with crisp boxing and good takedown defense. That's not Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen, okay. He does have crisp boxing. He's not bad, but I'm talking about somebody with power and somebody who could sit you down. Like in Umar's last fight, he got sat down on his ass, and you know, that was a little hint into what it's going to take to beat Umar. Somebody with stopping power. I don't rate Corey Sandhagen to having stopping power. The most dangerous attack this guy has are elbows, and don't get me wrong, he's got nasty elbows, but that's not going to be enough to stop Umar. Anytime you are close enough to throw an elbow, Umar's going to shoot on him. He's going to have the more dominant grappling. This is a super easy fight to predict. Corey is just going to be great. You know, he's that algebra teacher fighter. He's great. You know, he's a math wizard. You know, he's got all these breakdowns and game plans and everything, but he's never going to have the facilities to be champion. He's never going to be good enough. And let's pray to God that he doesn't get through Umar, because if he has to fight Sean O'Malley, that guy is going to get mopped. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Umar here. I think it's a pretty straightforward pick. I don't think it really needs a big breakdown, you know. That is going to be my breakdown of UFC on ABC, Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Stay tuned this week. I am going to be dropping some picks and parlays for you guys on Friday. Also, stay tuned because I might have an update on the Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa fight. You know, if we have Tony coming in, saying I did no cardio this camp, you know, talking all this stuff, opposite of what he did last camp, I might actually pick him if he's filled out. If he says, you know, he's taken on Sam Sulek to just build muscle this camp, and he's always been focused on his build muscle, I'll be extremely happy with that. And, you know, I might switch my pick. But, yeah, definitely keep an eye on Tony Ferguson this week. I think it could be a major upset. Michael Chiesa sucks, but, you know, Tony's just a feeble old man at this point. So if he's been working, you know, muscle building, then we might have a chance. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the video, checking out the channel. I'll see you guys later on this week or in the next one, some point. I don't know.